Hi everybody. All right, we're at the last week. I'm out here braving this heat today, this weekend, but it's a nice weekend. So questions. This is a great passage. I love Matthew. It's a lot in it. Oh my gosh. 5 through 7 is just a lot of good stuff. So it was hard to narrow down just 3 questions, but I'll do my best. The first question was, what is the most counterintuitive? There's a lot that was that. And I actually looked up counterintuitive and I thought it was interesting. The word means something that is common sense. Doesn't seem like common sense, but actually is nevertheless true, which in and of itself is a pretty good definition. But the one that stuck out to me as being counterintuitive is to love your enemies. I think that the word enemy, you think of battles and wars and things like that, and I'm not sure that we can relate too much to that term per se, but I have had a lot of people in my life that because of their choices, it has limited or has changed the trajectory of significant choices that I had, or just the way I was treated, or, just different things that, when it comes right down to it, I just, for good or bad, you just want to see some people fail because of the way that they have demonstrated their choices over your own life. And that's probably not a good thing to want to see somebody fail. And I guess when I read the idea of loving your enemies, it goes on different passages in this part to talk about forgiving so that you are forgiven. And I think that is a really strong context for loving those, because we're all human, and I'm sure I have made choices that were not helpful or good for other people. And then the whole idea of when he's talking about judging people and taking the speck out of your own eye, or the log out of your eye before you take a speck out of somebody else's. And I love that because I don't think that it says not to deal with conflict or not to, address something with someone, but that you should weigh it in a humility to be able to understand exactly what is wrong with the situation, as opposed to just how you feel about the situation. And anyway, I think that that's one of the things that is counterintuitive, but actually does lead to your own life not being full of bitterness and resentment and all those awful things that we don't want to creep into who we are. The second question was, what stood out the most to you? Okay, I love the verse 7:11, and it says, if you then who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your heavenly Father your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him. I just love that verse. I just love the fact that I do know how to give good gifts. I try really hard to give good gifts. I want my kids, I want the people I care about, I want to be good at anticipating something that would really bless them, that would really make them feel valued. And I think that relating that to prayer and asking for things from a personal God, to me seems like, okay, he's not up there doing things bad or wrong, or the world isn't just, a playground for evil and things like that. He has good gifts, and he knows me, and he knows what would bless me, and not bless me like, big things, but just things that are small, that are personal, that mean a lot to me, and would make me feel like he's listening and he cares. Which kind of leads me into the last question of what does our world need most, is that I think that idea of, these passages talk a lot about doing things in secret, giving to the poor in secret, praying in secret, fasting in secret, those things, so that there's a reward from your Heavenly Father instead of a reward that man sees. And I think our world right now is a lot about, I do it if I'm acknowledged because I did it. And that's not really the Christian community that I know. I know people who are, they want to give because people are hurting. They want to be a friend because it's the right thing to do. They want somebody to feel valued, and so they don't need a fanfare about it. They just, it does their own heart good. Anyway, those are my thoughts about this passage. I could read it over and over again. I mean, I have, and it's good. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well.